No one's even in here, and I doubt anybody will be. But you ever have that moment where you see a reflection of yourself? You see yourself, and you're like, Jesus, is that really what I look like all day? Holy crap. I look like a fucking mess. Total disaster. Yeah. Some days I look at the image of myself and I, it looks like I weigh 250 pounds or something. I'm pretty tall and slender in real life, but I'm looking at myself now and it's like, what the shit? I look like a big fat mess. And clearly you guys agree. Nobody's in here. And I apologize. I had this plan for noon, but life happens, man. This is why I don't like scheduling live streams, because shit happens. Phones ring, people knock on your door, which is exactly what happened to me. Both of those things happened like 2 minutes before I had originally scheduled this. So, yeah, I try to schedule as best I can, but just things happen, man. What are you going to do? And I'm going to give this a couple minutes. If no one's going to be, if no one shows up or no one's engaging, I'm going to bail out of here. So I'm going to give it 5 or 10 minutes. People are watching the new order video, and most people enjoy New Order. So most people have a comment or an opinion. Oh, hey, Biz, what's up, man? How are you? Good old Biz. Yeah, you're from Seattle, right? Why? I feel like yeah, I feel like I'm from Portland, so I feel like I know your name from somewhere, or we have mutual friends or something. Thanks, man. Yeah, I know you're the electronic guy. Yeah, I remember you. Um, oh God, what was it? Was it Howie B? I did that Howie B video, and you were into that one. It seems like when I do an electronic video, you're all about that, which I am too. It's funny. I've talked about this before on the channel. Like I turned into the industrial guy. You know what I mean? Like I did a few Skinny Puppy videos, and all of a sudden I was kind of known for that. But that's not really. I mean, I love that stuff, but that's not really what I'm super super passionate about. I'm passionate about that 90s electronic era, Black Dog and Plaid and Aphex and Weatherall. And that's the stuff I get crazy about. I love that shit. It's hard to explain. I don't want the Skinny Puppy fans to feel dissed or something. I do love that stuff, but give me Black Dog and Plaid and Howie B over Skinny Puppy any day. Oh, hey, what's up, Dustin? Dustin, I feel like I know your name, Dustin Mueller. Where are you at? Do you mind me asking? I'm always interested to know where you guys are from, just so I can kind of geographically place you. I think it's fun. Yeah, I don't know that have I ever heard. I must have heard the 7-inch version of Temptation. Is that on that big box set they did? Did you get that box set they put out like 5 or 6 years ago? They're like 4 or 5 albums crushed in there, and there's like it's mainly just the edited versions. You know what I'm talking about? Is it basically just an edit version of that original 12-inch version? Do you guys remember too that original New Order EP with Temptation on it? I remember pulling out the record and it had the timings to all the songs, and it said like the version of Temptation was like 15 minutes longer, or was that Hurt? I don't. One of the songs it said it was like a 15-minute version. I was like, hell yeah, let's hear this. And then you put it on, and it wasn't. They screwed up the timing, but I was like, I'd like to hear a 15-minute version of that. Why not? Yeah. What do you think? I'm planning on doing a video too. I just picked up. I sometimes hesitate to pick up any reissue. It just depends on how much I love the album. But Warp's been doing all the AI series. In fact, I think they've put out most all of them at this point, except AI 2, which I think is brilliant. I like AI 2 better than AI 1. in terms of the compilations. I think AI2 is brilliant, but yeah, they did B12, they did Black Dog. I just picked up Speedy J and Fuse, which are phenomenal. They sound great. And in fact, I think probably the only one they haven't reissued at some point is Polygon Window, right? Which is a shame. I mean, shit. That's my favorite Aphex album to this day, Surfing on Sine Waves. I hope they do a reissue of that. I have the original press of that, but it's just hammered, man. I've had it for 30 years. I've played it to death. But yeah, the Speedy J and Fuse reissues are really good. And Speedy J is one of those guys I don't really think has gotten his full due. So I think it's cool that they've reissued that. Maybe people will start recognizing Speedy J because I really liked how his career evolved. Like he did Ginger, and then he did albums like Public Energy #1, which was badass, man. Like he totally changed his sound. I think Speedy J is someone that does not get the credit he deserves. He's a true pioneer, man. Love that guy. And Ginger has never sounded better. And Fuse, I mean, Fuse hasn't aged at all. In fact, last Sunday, as I was watching football, I was streaming. They had like an online release party of Dimension Intrusion on Bandcamp, and Richie Houghton was in there talking to people, and that was cool. It was cool to hear that album and Richie Houghton in there talking about it. And that's actually when I ended up buying it. It's been out for a while, the reissue there, but I have the original issue. I didn't feel like picking it up, but then I was part of the Bandcamp, listening party, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna support Richie Houghton. Because by the way, Richie Houghton is the greatest DJ I've ever seen in my life, bar none. Some of in terms of just a DJ crushing it, Richie Houghton is at the top of the list for sure. Oh, sweet. Yeah, man. Oh, St. Louis. Okay. Yeah. St. Louis, Missouri. Is St. Louis still considered to be like the most dangerous city in America? Every time I look at a list of that, it's like St. Louis and Detroit are at the top. Maybe, hopefully that's changed. I don't know. I've never been to St. Louis. Yeah. Yeah. Singles. That big old box set. I have that, and I've just like a lazy bastard. I haven't even ever listened to it. In fact, I don't even know if I've ever even cracked it open. But I bought it. I've thought about doing a video on it, but like I mentioned in my substance video last night, I don't know. I mean, New Order is just I don't know. Like I love them, but I'm sick of them at the same time. I feel like they're too mainstream now. I don't know. Maybe that's just a bougie a bougie way to think. Like now that they're mainstream, I don't care. It's not that, but I am guilty of having a little bit of that. I think. I don't know. I just think that New Order inherently, I just feel like if a band is appealing to that many people, I feel like something's wrong. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think it's possible for a truly innovative band to appeal to everybody. But New Order was different then. And that's what I tried to impart in my video about substance is like there's 80s New Order and then there's 90s and present New Order. It's two different New Orders. Yeah, the 81, 82 EP, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Chris Wilson, yeah. Chris, you're in Iowa, right? If I remember correct. I apologize if I'm screwing that up. Yeah, Speedy J Live. I was just listening to that this week. When I got Ginger, I um Speedy J's old catalog is on Apple Music, by the way. And I had that I added it all to my catalog in my phone and I was blasting it in my car the other day. God, yeah, live is so good. Speedy J is so good. God, he's good. Yeah, admittedly, I haven't heard. In fact, I've got it right here. Um, I haven't listened to all of it. Oh, and by the way, yesterday in my video I was talking about ceremony, and I remembered it got reproduced back then. It didn't get reproduced for this. They did that original version and with the green cover, and then they did the 12-inch with the white cover and had a different version. But that was back then. So I was misremembering that. They didn't re-record ceremony for this. They just used that later recording at the time in 1981. So that's what you get. I haven't, again, I haven't listened to this whole thing. The tracks I listened to sounded fine. So I don't know. That's the risk you take though with colored reissues. And it's Universal too. Universal owns everything now. Everything. And yeah, you think Universal's taking the time and effort to make quality reissues? No, absolutely not. They don't care. They're just pumping out product. That's what Universal is. They own everything. They own all of us. They own all the bands, and they just pump out product. So yeah, I mean, you're probably better off going and picking up the original of this. And yeah, I'm assuming it's not cheap to get an original of this. But if you love this album, there's really no price point that's too much. I think it's just compilations don't get any better. Okay, so you were there too, Chris? You listening to that? Oh, I see what you're saying. Bandcamp was, yeah, I know. That's how it is with everything, right? I mean, shit always starts off great and well intentioned, and then it turns to shit. That was my experience at Discogs. It was really cool, and then it wasn't. It was really, really awful. It's just people just sell out, man. What are you gonna do? They sell out. People just, yeah. It's scary and it's disappointing how money obsessed everybody is. Not everybody, but most people. It's I don't know. People seem to forget, like life is not infinite. We have a very finite life. Maybe it's time to prioritize other things than money, like having experiences and relationships. And yeah, anyway, I don't. I get crazy from that. Oh, that dude. Oh Jesus, Oof. Don't get me started. That guy's hard to take, man. I mean, if you like him, that's cool. I'm not trying to judge you, but that guy's brutal to watch, man. I ranted about him in a past video. I didn't mention his name, but since you brought it up, I love his videos where he's luxuriating in his thousands of dollars worth of equipment and gear that he buys. He doesn't understand how to use any of it. He wants you to see how much money he spent. Speaking of money, since I was in that money groove anyway, look at all the money I spent on these speakers. Look at the money I spent on this receiver, this vintage tube amp. Nobody cares, dude. Shut up. Why don't you put a record on and listen to it and have a thought about an actual piece of music rather than showing us how much money you have in your bank account? Yeah, not me. Joy Division's tough for me to listen to. I appreciate it, it's just yeah. It's a sound that puts me in a certain mood. And yeah, I don't know, man. It would have been fun to see what Ian Curtis did with New Order, because Joy Division was moving in that direction anyway. We've already talked about this in other videos, but they were playing Can and Kraftwerk at their shows before they went on stage, so they were already starting to get influenced by electronic music. Would have been cool to see what Ian Curtis did. Hey, Buckner. Oh, I love Horse. You mean Horse? Isn't it Horse Rotivator, right? Horse Rotivator. Oh yeah, no, I love Coil. You know, I did LSD for. I mean the album, by the way. I am not promoting drugs. Well, I won't go that far. I am not referring to drugs. Um, I talked about LSD for a couple reasons. Number one, because that's their most palatable album. That's the one that appeals to the most amount of people. But you know what? Number two, honestly, it's my favorite Coil album. I knew Coil, like hardcore Coil fans, would bristle at that choice, but I don't know. It happens to be my favorite Coil album. But I don't think I ever heard a Coil album that I didn't enjoy. Honestly, I mean, they were always really interesting, man. I deeply appreciate any band who's never boring. It's tough to pull that off. I have a distaste for all the recent reissues too. I mean, everyone in the band is dead. They've been long dead, but they keep pumping out product, which is kind of annoying, but I don't know. I guess people want to buy it. But no, I love Horse Rotivator. That's an awesome album. Oh, St. Louis. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's just like any town. There are pockets, you know. Let's see. Oh, hey, Shafi, what's up, man? You're in the UK, right? UK in the house? Oh, are they? I don't even know. Is Ian McCulloch even part of them anymore? Is he in that band? I thought Ian McCulloch was off doing his own thing. By the way, I've toyed with the idea of doing a video on Candleland because I love that album. I don't know. It's one of my favorite 80s albums. Ian McCulloch, Candleland. Seriously, go check that out. And the singles are awesome too. Lots of interesting remixes. You get some Justin Strauss remixes of Faith and Healing, and there's a remix of Proud to Fall. There's a smattering of really good B-sides. I would I would highly recommend picking that up. Yeah. 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 Right. But yeah, this, like you said, the sound on that is just absolutely fantastic. And it's pressed at 45 and it was just mastered and pressed perfectly. The sound just like bounces right off the record. I mean, it's almost like, if you have good speakers, it's almost like the band is crawling out of the speaker, the sound is so good. And that was Martin Hannett produced, right? But the re-recording wasn't. Am I right about that? The original one was Hannett. Second version, not Hannett. And you can definitely tell. I mean, there's no question about this. God damn it, Biz! Don't tempt me. I don't know. What do you want to know? I'll tell you what I can tell you. Jesus, man, I don't even know where to start. If you want, ask me something specific, and I'll do my best. I don't want to get into the habit of bad mouthing anybody, but yeah, Discogs is a lost company, and it's too bad because I've been using Discogs since the very beginning. Seriously, since 2001, just a few months after their inception, I've been one of those submitters and moderators, and I you go through so many years building a positive relationship with a company, and then they just decide to go that other way. And it's exactly what I was talking about a few minutes ago with money. It's just like, you know, in life you can take a choice, you can make a choice. You can go this way and go that way. And unfortunately, Discogs has gone the wrong way. But I will continue to use Discogs because I think the seedling of what makes them good is still there, and that's us, the submitters, the people that keep Discogs afloat, the people that put the product into the database so people can buy and sell. And those are the people that Discogs don't really care about. And they're fully aware of the people who their company exists upon. I mean, they know that they depend on submissions. And they also know that they don't do anything to give those people who keep that website afloat the things that they want. Every site feature you see with Discogs, no one in the community is asking for it. This is behind the scenes masturbation. This is stuff that the staff thinks they want to keep themselves busy. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. Discogs create all kinds of new plans and implementations for no reason other than to keep themselves busy. I'm not exaggerating here. I'm giving you the straight dope. This is a company is bloated with workforce, and very few of them have any idea what they're doing. And so they fill up their day with busy work. There you go. There's a bit of a rant for you. But this is the truth. I'm not making this up. I was there. It is a very sad state of affairs down there. I love the norm. Yeah. Any issue of that, any Daniel Miller is always, well, that's some name you got there. Okay. I heard that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've seen those videos where he literally just stands there and holds records. Did you see that controversy about, God, what was it? Was it Alan Parsons Project? Did you watch that? God damn. It was so funny. Those of you who don't know, like Mobile Fidelity Sound, which is, we call it MoFi, they've been around forever, and they reissue these high quality, really expensive audio analog file reissues of like extremely standard albums that would only cost $5 to buy anyway for an original copy. But there's this whole stupid, fake, phony controversy last year because MoFi actually used digital files to reissue it, and people bought the album, but they couldn't hear the difference. That's what the key was to me. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Um, this this in groove guy got into this argument. He started this whole stupid scandal about how they actually use digital files to reissue something they said was an analog reissue, and everyone was up in arms about it. But to me, the fact was, I think these audiophiles were pissed because they couldn't tell the difference. Don't you think that's why they were pissed? Audiophiles spend all day, you know, doing this and staring at vinyl and buying certain needles and buying certain speakers and amplifiers and tube amps and turntables and tone arms and weights and preamps, and then they buy a record and they listen to it and they can't tell the fucking difference. That's why they were pissed off. The in groove guy included. He would have sat there listening to that album and not having an idea if it was analog or digital. That's just my opinion, but that's what that whole dumb scandal was about. Like, audiophiles spend thousands and thousands of dollars thinking they know the difference, and guess what? They can't. They have no clue. And so, of course, they get pissed because they have no sense of humor. I mean, let's face it, most audiophiles have very little sense of humor. These are people who hold records under halogen lights and stare at them and pontificate. And anyway, I thought it was really funny, absolutely hilarious. And the fact it was over an Alan Parsons Project record. Are you serious? Really? Go buy the original album. It costs you $5 for an original pressing. Jesus Christ. Like, really? Alan Parsons Project? I don't know, man. It takes a certain brand of person to get really incensed over an old Alan Parsons Project reissue. But hey, it's good entertainment for us, right? Go look that up, by the way. If you guys want some real pure entertainment, go look that up on YouTube. Just type in, actually, you know what? Oh, by the way, I'll look it up for you. But by the way, if I get cut off, hang in there. Every live stream I've done, I've gotten cut off. And I don't know if it's because I'm trying to expand my bandwidth too much. Um, and this might be, yeah, here we go. Is this it? No, maybe not. I would recommend. Oh, there he is. Just look up In Groove. That's this dude's YouTube channel name. And then once you get to his channel, just search for Alan Parsons Project. It's worth it. It's hilarious, hilariously dumb. Okay, is that double pack, Shafi? Two records, right? Is Crystal the one with the white cover and it's got like a red triangle, or am I thinking of something else? I'm sorry, Biz. What were you talking about? I let me back up. What are you talking about? What are you referring to? Sorry, I'm a little behind here. Heading out to get. Okay, see you later, Chris. Keeping it real from Iowa. Hey, Harris Pilton. What's up, dude? You're in the UK, right? UK? Newer fan from. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I would think that. I would think that most everything in the early mid '80s was influenced by Donna Summer in some way, whether it was Our Love or I Feel Love or Bad Girls or that's that whole Giorgio Moroder influence. But absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Shit. Harris Pilton. I didn't know you made videos. I'll have to look that up. Okay, yeah, I love Candleland, man. God, I love that album. I like that album better than any Echo and the Bunnymen album. Honestly, I was never really an Echo and the Bunnymen fan. I mean, they're fine, but I'm more interested in just that circle of influence from Ian McCulloch and the KLF, Bill Drummond, and just all of that. By the way, I just picked up, was it 23 Seconds to Eternity, that KLF documentary. Basically, it's just like a video document of all the things they filmed, like Waiting in the White Room and the Rights of Moo, where Martin Sheen was doing the commentary. I just got that on Blu-ray. It's fine. It's stuff that we've already seen, but it's nice to have it all on one disc. Yeah, Proud to Fall, dude. I swear, it seems like at least a couple times a month when I'm driving to work. It's like 7:30 in the morning, and I'm trying to wake up when I'm driving, and I'll put that song on. It just wakes me right up, puts me in the right mood. That's the great thing about music and that song in particular. What a fucking great song that is. Yeah, that's right. I remember you telling me about Jersey. Yeah. Yeah, I know where Jersey is. How's it going, Shafi? Is your life going a little better now? You feeling good about stuff? Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Well, the original version was way better. Way better. Just raw. Just like a band literally a band in a garage playing shit on the first take. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I agree. And how good is that song, man? Everything's Gone Green is just, oh my God, so far ahead of its time. Honestly, man. Like when people talk about techno music and they bring up Juan Atkins, and they rightfully so, they should. Kraftwerk and Juan Atkins and Carl Craig, all those are Detroit, German, that connection. They leave out tracks, and I understand why, but they leave out songs like Everything's Gone Green. That should be up there, man. That song is killer, like early electro style greatness. Yeah, so Biz, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's hard for me to talk about Discogs without getting emotional about it, because I spent 4 years of my life there, and I made some long lasting friendships that I still have today. There's a handful of us that kind of made that site what it is. And now they just have a bunch of leeches working there that don't even really understand their own product. And how about those those fee hikes they had earlier this year. That was a real good move, right? Charging people for shipping. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation. I could get into that if you really want to hear it. I don't know that anybody else would want to hear it, but Harris, what do you talk about on your well, shit, I suppose I should watch it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, Liz, what's up, girl? Liz, how are you? You guys, Liz, can I talk about your Instagram account? I guess I just did. I don't I Out of respect for Liz, I want to make sure that she's okay with that. But this chick is awesome. I love her and you should love her too. It's funny, I get all kinds of questions on Fetus. All kinds. Um yeah, as I mentioned before, like I don't know, he's all right. I'm sorry. I don't love him. I appreciate him. I appreciate him more than I like him. And I have some of his records, and I have a bunch of his remixes. He has some remixes that I like more than others. Like he remixed some Front 242 back in the early '90s that I really like. And I don't know. I feel like I like his remix work. I guess. Oh, he did a really cool remix of a Nine Inch Nails song on that Fixed EP. God, was it Happiness and Slavery? Is that what he remixed? He did something. I don't remember. Fixed is a fantastic remix album, by the way. It's Coils on there and Fetus is on there. I've talked about Nine Inch Nails before. I like Trent Reznor's taste in music. I don't really like his music, but I like his approach. Let me see what this is. Java Ally. New comment. Are you I feel like I recognize your name. Back in 1990, my disco friends asked if I would lend them a cassette to listen to a techno in it, so I gave them a tape. Yeah. Well, and that's why LSD is such a great album. That's their one. I don't know. People say it's their most accessible album, and I guess it is, but it's still really out there for most for most people. For them, it's not. But it depends on how much you want to weigh what's important to you. Like, is creating this forward-thinking dance music more creative and out there than just creating ambient industrial noise music? I would create an argument about that. I think LSD is very out there. It's just not out. It's not out there in the way that we think of Coil. But I still think it's a very strange album. Oh yeah. I mean, there's something called Metacritic here. Have you ever checked out Metacritic? I don't know. It's all right. You're right though. I wish they did. When we worked at Discogs, there were some of us that wanted to do this at Discogs. But guess what the brass said? They're too busy focusing on other shit that people didn't care about. It's one good thing. That's one thing that Discogs is really good at is creating changes that no one asks for. they did you see this, Harris? Did you see this whole dilemma? How funny was that? It looks like you saw that. Oh my god. I mean, if you're gonna have an existential crisis, do it over an album that matters. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't want to judge people for having certain tastes in music. Alan Parsons Project is fine. I don't hate them, but really, like, you can go buy the original pressing for $5. Why would you go and spend $80 on some stupid MoFi press anyway? You know, it could be analog half speed remastered and cut in Babylon, and I still wouldn't buy that fucking thing. Go spend $5 on it. It just cracked me up. It was everything about it was so funny. These old sweaty white guys debating this pressing that they thought, and they weren't able to tell if it was. I mean, they were just operating under the assumption that it was analog. Like maybe you turds should have known that anyway by listening to it, Mr. Audiophiles. It's just funny to me. Like Audiophiles just are they just have a built-in self-importance. I mean, it is what it is. And to me, I just want to hear music, man. That's why I love Apple Music. I mean, it sounds great. When I when I rip this stuff, and I have certain, I rip things in a certain way. I want to hear it in a certain way. But it's gotten to a point where my rips don't sound any better than what I'm hearing on Apple Music. So yeah, it's becoming less important for me to have records everywhere. Honestly, I don't have a ton of experience, but what I've heard, I really enjoy. Why is that? Are they some of your favorite? Is that some of your favorite stuff? No, I don't know them well enough to really talk about it and have an opinion. There you go. Yeah. Oh, right. Did I recommend that to you, Liz? Right? Didn't I? I did. Or you probably watched it on your own. But Liz, it's exactly what it was like. Okay. It was mental torture. You Well, I was going to say you'd go into the office. We worked from home mainly, but on a daily basis, you didn't know what was left, what was right, which was up, which was down. You had no idea. You could be crushing it, you could be destroying it in every possible professional level, and they'd still be like, no, no, that's not good enough. We're doing this now. And if you don't like that, then you're not part of our culture. If you're not able to pivot with our work, then you're not part of our culture. And if you bring up anything that's true that will look derogatory toward us, then there's the door. I mean, it was crazy. The people that I used to work with there were still scarred from it, because we loved it. We loved the idea of working there. It was the end of our daily grind in terms of professionalism. This was where we would retire. This was what we worked toward. And then we went there and it was like this living hell. But it wasn't, it wasn't outward like that. Like there's a difference between people that you work with who are just dipshits, and you can see them coming a mile away because they're stupid. But then you get the people who are conniving and crafty and intelligent, highly intelligent, and they're working against you. If someone's stupid and they're working against you, you can see it a mile away. But if someone's really intelligent and they're working against you, it's a slow grind. It's a slow burn. It's gaslighting at its most extreme, and that's what it was like. It really sucked, and it shouldn't have sucked. There shouldn't have been anything that sucked about it. And in the beginning, it was really fun. It really was. We were actually changing things, and some of the things you see on that website now were things that we came up with years ago, and we still employ. Nothing's changed with that website. Think about it. Those of you who have been there since the beginning, has anything really changed? No. But they sure want you to think that. Anyway, please. Oh, Jesus, Shafi. Sorry, man. No, you're not killing the mood. I'm really sorry, Shafi. I mean, if you find any kind of distraction, or if this channel can make you feel better, then I'm really proud that I can provide that for you. God, man, I am really sorry. Jesus, I've had some similar stuff happen with me in my life. So anyway, I'm really sorry to hear that, dude. Ugh. But yeah, if this can bring any modicum of happiness or joy for you, then I absolutely am proud to deliver that. Hang in there, man. Keep coming back to my channel if it makes you happy. Seriously, I take that really seriously. Like if I can bring any modicum of happiness or joy to anybody, mumbling like I do. I've said this before too. It's funny. I'm taking a total 180 here, but I don't talk much. I think that's why I have a lot to say with my channel. I know the majority of you are looking at me like, really? You don't talk much? Really, dude? Seriously? But I don't. If you guys were to ever meet me in real life, I really am not a big talker. I'd much rather listen, but that's why I like this channel, is because I can funnel my thoughts into something, because most of my days I just kind of I hold everything into myself. The band's on the Zoo record label. Yeah. And you saw my did you see my Pink Industry video, Harris? Like I'm trying to I did that on purpose. Like I talked about the KLF and then I did Pink Industry. That's why I want to do Ian McCulloch. Just fascinated. I'm going to do a Julian Cope video, because Peggy Suicide's one of my favorite albums, man. God, I love that album. But I'm just fascinated with that whole group, that crew. It's fascinating to me. Okay, so Liz has an Instagram account, and she's way, way, way cooler than I am when it comes to records and music knowledge. This chick knows her shit. Okay, get over to Instagram, and her handle is Azillarod, and she posts movies too. I'm going to be doing actually my next video. I'm definitely almost positively sure I'm going to be doing a movie, and I want to do more of that. But she constructs these pieces, like she's got lighting and she's got backdrops and backgrounds, and she's got these altars set for the movies and the records she loves. It's awesome. Just looking at her photos just instantly makes me feel better. So go over there and subscribe to her, because there's not a lot of us out there anymore, right? There are very few of us that actually like the right music and like the right movies and have the creativity to express our love of this stuff. She's also a DJ. I've never seen her play because she's in Texas. I'm over here in Washington State, but she's a DJ. And I think I've seen a couple comments on your Instagram account, and they've all been positive. So you're clearly a good DJ too. So go check her out, Izillarod. She's awesome, and besides all that, she's just an awesome chick, man. I'm Liz. I'm really glad to have met you. Seriously, you make me feel good. And God, how rare is it to meet somebody that makes you feel good? Liz is awesome. I don't mind saying it. Liz is probably my favorite. Sorry, guys, but Liz, you're awesome. Fetus has good album art. Yeah, yeah. What? God, what's the? Is it, I want to say it's Sync. Does Fetus have an album named Sync? That's a cool cover. Kind of puts me in that KMFDM realm. I haven't checked out All Music that much. Um, I don't know. I feel like all music's okay. Yeah. I wish they had. I wish we were able to pull that off at Discogs. I'll check out All Music sometimes. I'll check out Metacritic. Metacritic's kind of lame because uh, I don't know. It just seems like Metacritic almost seems like they just depend on Pitchfork for their information, um, which is silly in itself. Yeah, I'm laughing just thinking about it. What was the guy's name? It was the In Groove guy, and then who were the guys in that conversation? There's that crazy wacky guy. He's got gray hair and he's got glasses and he's worked in the music industry. I actually like him. What he was saying, I was way more on the side of what he was saying. The In Groove guy, he just was trying to stir shit up in the pot. It was clearly he doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's never really worked in the music industry. He doesn't understand it. He just had all this fake outrage over a digital versus analog thing. Um, Sometimes just honest mistakes happen, and the music biz does operate in a certain way, in a certain fashion. And I don't think that In Groove guy has any clue how it works. He just wanted to stir shit up. I don't like that guy. I'm probably being very clear about that. Whatever, and he'd probably hate me too, and good. I think if everyone loves you and likes you, they are suspect. He's got thousands of subscribers. That's another reason why he's highly suspect to me. When you appeal to the masses, you're doing something wrong. You know, it's like you should divide people. I can't tell you how often I lose subscribers on my channel. And you know what? Good. If I say something you don't like and you have such a thin skin that you have to go away, then good. Go away. I don't want you. Oh, is that what it was? Man, I don't know these people. I really don't watch YouTube that much. That's why I really started this channel, man. It's like the few people I did watch, there's just so much lacking. Okay. Yeah, yeah. They are full of shit. I mean, that's what's funny about it, you know? Like, yeah, it's like, have you ever seen the movie Ghost World? And there's that scene with David Cross. Brilliant movie, by the way. Brilliant. It's become one of my favorite movies of all time, Ghost World. Okay? If you've never seen it, drop everything you're doing right now and go watch Ghost World. Forget about what you think you know it's about. Don't put away all that shit. Sit down and watch the movie. It is brilliant, especially for record collectors. You will deeply appreciate this movie. But there's that scene where they're at the record party and David Cross is there and they're talking about cracked records and why I don't buy cracked records, and great scene. And that's those guys, I think. Just like filling up the emptiness of their lives with this superfluous bullshit. And look, I'm guilty of that too, man. I have thousands of records in my collection, and I will admit to all of you that a lot of that is due to just having holes in my own life. You know, we get scarred as we get older. Things happen, we get scarred. We get traumatized by things. And sometimes those holes just can't be filled, and we fill it with shit, like records and movies. But you know what? If it makes us happier, then that's what we do. But hopefully some people can balance that out and have a sense of humor. That's the key. I don't think the majority of audiophiles don't have a sense of humor, man. No, dude, you're not depressing anyone. You know, we all have varying degree. I mean, I'm not even going to pretend to understand what you're going through. Um, and I hope whatever I said before, I hope I didn't say anything offensive toward you. I'm not even going to pretend I understand. I'm really sorry that you're going through this. We've all lost people in some one way or another, so I think at least at that level we can all empathize with you. But yeah, I'm not even going to pretend I understand what you're going through. Hang in there, guy. And yeah, if my channel can help you feel better, then by all means. Ooh, look at this. Java. Thanks, dude. Hey, man, I'll take it. Yeah, thank you. Um, yeah, talk about support. Liz, you're the woman. You're the woman and the man. You're all of them combined. Seriously, you guys, Liz is fucking awesome. And she's Mexican, which makes her even cooler. Mexicans don't put up with shit, man. They just don't. One of the best friends I have in this world is a Mexican chick, and she doesn't put up with any bullshit. I'm Italian, and we don't put up with any bullshit either. I'm also Irish, so you can guess what my blood pressure levels are at. Even in full rest mode, my blood pressure is 250 over 150 probably. I mean, Italian and Irish, it basically means I'm going to die of a stroke or a heart attack in any second. I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry. Ooh, Liz, look at this. See there? Harris Pilton. Thank you, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love Liz. This woman's awesome. She makes us all look stupid. You look at her Instagram shit. It's like Jesus. I couldn't do that. Really? Don't say that because I'll do it, and I'll ramble. Oh, man, I want to do movies more. I really do. Like I love movies every bit as I love um, music. In fact, I've been on my website. I wrote my top 100 comedies, and I wrote the first 75 like a year ago, and I have not written the top 25 yet. So by the time I finally get to it, it's going to be almost a 2-year project. Why, you ask? Because I'm a lazy bastard. But yeah, I'm doing my top 100 comedies. But oh God, I love movies. Yeah, I'm stoked about my next video. It's going to be about a movie. Liz, I think I told you what it's going to be about. But there's a movie that I really want to talk about that I'm super dorky about, and I'm going to talk about it. And you're going to have to sit through it. But you want a video on that? Now, listen, I can't really show. I could show them, but it's just going to be boring DVDs and Blu-rays, you know. So if I do a video on that, I don't know that I'm actually going to show them. I mean, maybe I could, I guess, but it would be super boring. Um, I will though. I definitely would do that. Okay. Okay. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'll have to check that out. Oh, did they? You think? Dubstep, really? Explain that to me. I mean that honestly, because I love dubstep. Uh, yeah. What particular album are you thinking of, or single? I don't know. I've never associated FLA with dubstep, really. But I'd love to hear your take on it. Dubstep, yeah. When I think of dubstep, there's plenty of dumb step out there. But when I think of dubstep, I think like remember Benga and Shackleton and Apple Blim. Um, yeah, some good stuff. All right, looks like I'm caught up with all your comments. Let's see. Oh man, I don't know that I have one, Chris. Yeah, I don't know. I just like movies that are well done. It sounds stupid. That's a kind of a. I know that's kind of a cop out answer, but how about you? What's your favorite genre? What are all your favorite genres? I mean, geez, yeah, I don't know that I have one. I just love movies that kind of take me to a place that I couldn't come up with on my own. Like movies that just, I wouldn't say I have favorite genres. I have favorite directors. Like anything from Stanley Kubrick. That might be a boring answer, but when I think of my favorite movies, I think of Kubrick. I think of Doctor Strangelove, and I think of 2001 and Clockwork Orange and The Shining, and those are all different genres, really. But to me, those are all dramas, I guess. I think of Martin Scorsese. Uh, my God, I mean, the guy's still doing brilliant work. Some of my favorite movies are Scorsese movies: Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, King of Comedy, Goodfellas, Casino, Silence, After Hours, Bringing Out the Dead. But I think we'd probably all agree that Martin Scorsese makes dramas. There are elements of horror, elements of comedy, but they're always drama. So maybe drama, maybe that would be the answer. I don't know. I love horror though. I do tend to I do tend to gravitate toward the darker stuff in life because I just think I don't like easy answers. I don't like movies that hold my hand. I don't like I want to think about shit. My favorite movies tend to be the movies that are kind of open-ended, where you have to think. They're ambiguous at the end. Um, I love Steven Spielberg movies, but I don't like the way he ends his movies. Like, he believes in having a happy, pat, explained ending, and that's fine. That's his art. That's the way he does things. I don't ever. I love some of Duel, which by the way just came out on 4K this week. Duel. Um, in fact, That stack you see behind me, it's back there. Um, I love people like Spielberg, but he ends movies in a way that I think can be kind of a cop out. Like a great way to describe it, I remember Kubrick. They were talking about Schindler's List, and Kubrick was in line to do a movie called Aryan Papers, and he was doing this in the early '90s. But then he heard Spielberg was already doing Schindler's List, so he backed out of it. He didn't want to have two Holocaust movies at the same time. And Kubrick watched Schindler's List, and they asked him what he thought about it, and he goes, well, and they asked him if his version would have been different, and Kubrick said, well, Spielberg made a movie about hope, about people living. I would have made a movie about death and the Holocaust. And what he was saying is like Holocaust is not something that really has much hope behind it. Um, Spielberg he was able to find that one little glimmer of hope where Schindler was able to save people. But that was the difference between Kubrick and Spielberg, right? Kubrick wasn't interested in giving you a pat answer. He was more, he wanted to give you life as he saw it, and I see life the way Kubrick sees it or saw it. I hope that's a way to explain it. I don't really tend to go for genres. I tend to go for filmmakers and just quality movies that are well done. Oh, wow. Now that cool. I respect that. Never gets taught. I mean, I try to do that with my videos to some degree, like cone melt. Did you watch my cone melt video last year? I got to interview the guy that was in cone melt. Um, Cone Melt's album, "You Fuckers Fuck," is one of those albums for me. Like in this world where so much stuff gets reissued and repressed, and all those '90s classic electronic albums are worshipped, I hear "You Fuckers Fuck," and I hear one of the greatest electronic albums I've ever heard, and hardly anyone's ever even heard of it, much less heard it. So that'd be mine. Okay. No clue. I'll have to check that one out. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll like those. What smart sci-fi? What do you mean? Um, is there a certain movie that you'd point to? I'm trying to think of smart sci-fi. They fuck up sci-fi so often. Smart. I mean, Blade Runner. My mind automatically goes there. Not that it's like a. Well, no, I think it's smart in many ways, visually and the original ending. It's a very smart, but it's 40 years old now. Um, I'm trying to think of a more recent smart sci-fi movie. I mean, I can't really think of any, but I'm sure you could. Sweet. What'd you pay for it? I like that punk version you get on the 12-inch version, and their version of Public Image Limited is brilliant. I mean, that's just one of the greatest songs ever. Anyway, back when back when John Lydon was awesome. Remember that? John Lydon's almost you can't even I can't even take him anymore. He's brutal. I mean, I'll always love him. It's John Lydon. I mean, he stands on the Mount Rushmore of influential musical people, but man, he's hard to take nowadays. Just shut up, dude. Let other people talk for a minute. Okay. Honestly, I've never been a huge FLA fan. I know people love FLA. I'm not one of them, but I'll check that out. I agree with half of your statement. I like Fincher. Like watching Fincher's movies is like eating. It's just eye candy. Um, some of his movies I think are obscenely overrated, like Seven and Fight Club. I watch those movies and I'm like, really? Seriously? But then I watch movies like Zodiac, which I think is brilliant. Zodiac is a phenomenal movie. And I think Social Network is a good movie. But he's definitely done some stinkers, though, in my opinion. And Nolan, I don't know. You probably don't want to hear my opinion on him. I love Memento. I'll say that. If Nolan was a truly awesome, great director, he'd stop making fucking Batman movies. It's enough with the Batman, enough with the superhero. It's just my opinion, but enough. Nolan needs to move on to his own thing again, like Memento. Memento's brilliant. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. Is it really? Are we agreeing on yet another thing, Liz? Are you serious? And it's the 12-inch version, right? Are we in agreement on this? Like the album version's slightly different. Oh, somebody also, sorry, I'm sidetracking here, but somebody mentioned that the version of Subculture on Low Life is infinitely better than the John Roby mix. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely agree. The album version is one of their best songs, I think. The Low Life version, sorry, the Low Life version of Subculture. Absolutely amazing. It's more of like a slow jam. The John Roby mix is just I can't even listen to it. It's awful. Awful. I think that's where New Order got kind of sidetracked too. The John Roby stuff is or Robbie, however the hell you say it. I don't know. There's one O and one B, so I'm assuming it's Roby. Um, his versions are shit. I'm sorry. He did Shell Shock, and didn't he do State of the Nation too? Like that's some of New Order's weakest stuff. I think when John Roby got a hold of that stuff, I just think it's weak. But yes, Liz. I mean, what can I say? You've got immaculate taste because it mirrors mine. No, but the perfect kiss, absolutely. The 12-inch version. All right. Let's see here. Wait, what am I doing here? Sorry, guys. I'm doing something here. Guys, if you're blocked, go away. Take a hint, will you? I'm going to say that out loud. Give me a break. If you're blocked, why would you come here under another name and publicly announce that you're blocked? Maybe you're annoying me. Fuck off. Let's see. Blade Runner 2049. And I'll say that. I don't care. I'll highlight his comment. I blocked this guy, and now he's coming here in here under different names, and I don't remember names. Sometimes I'm like, did I block you? Did I not block you? Then I go and research things. I'm like, oh yeah, I blocked this person for a very good reason. Go away. Figure it out. Okay, Chris, I have a bone to pick with you. Blade Runner 2049. No, I have to disagree with you on this. I respectfully disagree. I am sorry. I thought that movie was total dog shit. I thought it was like, let's recreate the original Blade Runner as much as we can, and let's hardly have Harrison Ford in it, and let's have Ryan Gosling looking moody, and let's try to recreate the music. Let's try to recreate everything. I'm sorry, I respect your opinion. It's just my opinion, but I thought that new Blade Runner was shit. I piss on that movie. Boring. I mean, if you're trying to recreate something, I don't know. I just feel like Blade Runner's too. It's too. It's a movie you don't touch. It's like covering a New Order song. It's like don't go there. Leave it alone. Sweet. There's Liz being awesome per usual. Dubstep was the first dance genre. I just couldn't get. Yeah, I mean it depends, but I couldn't get into it either. Yeah, it's check out early Shackleton though. Shackleton. Oh my God, some seriously great stuff. Oh, I do. Hey, what's up, El Fugaz? Is that a Fugazi reference? Are you? Is that an Ian McKay, like Ian McKay Fugazi thing? Yeah, Minority Report wasn't bad. I haven't seen Gattaca. I have to be honest. I have not seen that. Wait, what am I doing here? The guy that I blocked, he's still trying to message. It's hilarious. He just like he insists on being part of this. There's millions of other YouTube channels to troll people with. Just figure it out, will you? Go on. Okay. That's cool. All right, let's see here. You know it's not possible, Liz. You know there's no possible way to do that. We're going to agree. It just is what it is. We were put on this earth to agree with each other. But yeah, the 12-inch version, man. Oh my God. It's like the song is what it is for the first 4 minutes, and then it just breaks off into this whole other vibe. All instrumental. Oh God, yeah. See, now I'm gonna have to listen to this. And you get the full, there's like, if you get this, I notice if you get the CD of this, it's like a slightly edited version. Like they take out like a minute of it. It's like an 8-minute version, but here on the wax, it's 9. It's the full version, and only a keen listener like myself would figure that out because I'm sitting there intensely, obsessively listening to it. Oh God, what's the name of the song in Silence of the Lambs? Was it Q Lazarus? I have that 12-inch. Q Lazarus, right? Wasn't that the name of her? That was the name, right? Q Lazarus. Demi put it in the I think it was in Married to the Mob too. He used that track twice. It is a great song, but I remember when I saw Silence of the Lambs and that song was playing during that scene where he's tucking his balls between his legs. I'm like, oh, it's Q Lazarus. I think that was her name. I can't remember now. I know, I know. I have a friend I used to work at Discogs with, and um, we have intense disagreements about things, and we'll just shout insults at each other. I mean, we it's funny, but we disagree on Paul Thomas Anderson. He hates Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm like, what? I I will say some of PTA's movies are shit. Like Magnolia, one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life. But Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, The Master, Phantom Thread, these are brilliant movies. He will not watch them. He refuses to watch these movies. Um, oh, yeah. But, Inherent Vice, did you guys see that? I could barely sit through that movie. I thought it was just bad. And Licorice Pizza, bad. So PTA has two speeds. He can make a movie that like shakes you to your core and you love every minute of it and you watch it repeatedly, or he can make a movie that you absolutely hate. But I think that's a good thing, honestly. He's willing to do that. He's willing to take chances, and I think that's awesome. Um, anyway, Chris, I hear you, man. My opinion's just as dumb as anybody else's. All right, Ian Fugazi. Yeah, Harris Pilton. Yeah, yeah. His shit's way out there now. It's like you can't even describe it. There's no genre for it. He puts out albums pretty consistently, but he has an album on Perlon. It's a compilation basically. It's called 3 EPs. That's his best, I think, and that's the dubsteppy one. But why it's one of my favorite dubstep albums. He kind of takes it into a new realm. He does something different with it, and that's why I love it so much. Yeah. Anytime you see Tom Cruise die is a good thing. I have to admit, I mean, as an actor, I love Tom Cruise. I mean, I don't know, it's Tom Cruise. You know, have you ever seen Tropic Thunder? I mean, you know, I'd never seen it before, but I watched Spielberg's version of War of the Worlds, and I actually thought it was pretty good. It's pretty intense. I enjoyed it. Spielberg, everyone got bailed out at the end, more or less. That's what Spielberg does. But, you know, again, with Spielberg, I don't prefer the way he ends his movies, but he's still a great director. I mean, think of his body of work, Jaws, Duel, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Schindler's List, Munich, which I think is a vastly underrated movie. Catch Me If You Can. Spielberg's a great movie. He's a great director. He is. Absolutely. Goodbye Horses. Yes, thank you. Q Lazarus, right? Am I remembering that right? I'll have to dig out that 12-inch. It's trying to remember. I think it just has a 12-inch version and a 7-inch version. Um, no. You're asking me if I organize them? No. That's why you're never going to see it, because it's completely disorganized. I mean, I have I have a couple thousand in my home, and then the rest of them I keep in storage. And I have them on racks, big metal racks. I keep them upright. Um, it's climate controlled, so they're being taken care of. But how many? Oh my God! At my peak, because I've sold off a bunch, but at peak, I think I had 18,000 records. Now, keep in mind, that's a lot. A lot of them I got for free being a DJ. And there was a point where I never sold anything. I would unbox stuff I'd get for free, and I'd stack them and put them away. And I've got records all over the place. I have them in my own home. I have them in my storage unit. I have a couple thousand records at my parents' house. They constantly remind me of this. Like, you ever going to get those records out of the basement that have been there for 20 years? Um, so they're just scattered all over the place. Um, but you amass a lot of records. I buy them, and I used to get them for free all throughout the 90s. I mean, on a daily basis, I'd get records from the record company. A lot of my records I've never even touched. They're just sitting there. A lot of them are still sealed, and the ones that aren't sealed, I've never even pulled them out of their inner sleeve. And so it sounds exciting, but it's not really. It's kind of a pain in the ass, and I'm looking to get rid of a lot of them, honestly. But now I'd say at my peak I had 18 or 19,000. I would say now it's closer to 10 or 11,000, which is still a lot. I know that's a lot. Demi always had an ear for good soundtracks. Oh, dude. Oh man, you're just trying to goad me, right? You are correct. I am not a Wes Anderson fan. I will say I love Rushmore. Love Rushmore. I think that was when he was cementing who he was. We didn't know what he was doing. He created something entirely new with Rushmore. Love Rushmore. But I just feel like he's trying to recreate that mood every movie he does, and he crams like 50 stars into it. It's like, look how many big name stars I can get in this movie. Yeah, not for me. I love Steve Zissou too, or Zissou, however you say it. I love that movie. Other than that, you're right. I am not a Wes Anderson fan at all. Not at all. Um, yes, Blood on My Hands, man. Blood on My Hands. The Villalobos remix. Like I did that Villalobos video earlier this week, and I talked about how some of his stuff is great and some of it not so great. That's absolutely one of his greatest works. And some of his best work is in remix form. Um, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Blood My Hands remix are just insane. Absolutely. Okay, yeah, you corrected it there. Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. Let's see. Oh my God, dude. That's hilarious. They just keep creating new names so they can get in here. So really, is it that important to you guys? Sheesh. Yeah. Okay. It's a really powerful song, man. There's no question about it. Oh, is it? It's just that scene was just so perfectly constructed. It couldn't have been any more perfect, you know. Uh, just that, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you think, well, they could have put Casey and the Sunshine Band or Walking on Sunshine as the backdrop of that scene, and it still would have worked somehow. But that song was just perfect. I don't know. It's just the juxtaposition maybe of a synth poppy song, but that is the song that guy would be listening to, right? It's just Silence of the Lambs is perfect. It's one of the few movies out there that doesn't have a single flaw to it, and I think most people could agree with that. This everything from the writing to the directing to the casting choices, there's not a single wasted second in that movie, and that's why it's one of the greatest movies of all time. Oh no shit, right? Yeah. Oh, the 12 inch is really okay. Maybe I'll have to pull that out of the old archives and sell that thing. I mean, I don't think I need it. I'll rip it and get rid of it. Really? Have they not reissued that? Huh. It seems like everything's been reissued at this point. Um, wow. Hey, any excuse to discover Colin Newman and Wire is a good one. Absolutely. Oh, oh, the first three: debut, post, and homogenic. Oh, there I go. I'm frozen. Hey guys, I'll be back. This happens. Give me a minute and I'll be back. Sorry. I knew it would happen eventually. Give me 2 to 3 minutes and I will be back. Sorry guys. It is what it is. I mean, what am I going to do? What in the hell am I going to do? Sorry guys. I guess that's just going to happen on every live stream I do. I don't know if that's StreamYard or I have a strong connection and a good computer. So sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, Bjork, her first three. If I had to rank the three, mm, debut is my favorite. I don't know. That's the one that just kind of came out of nowhere. The remixes associated with debut, God Almighty, like the Underworld mix of Human Behavior, phenomenal. Love Underworld. There's another video I need to do. The Black Dog mixes, the Andy Weatherall mixes, and then post you've got Graham Massey and LFO, Mark Bell, and then Mark Bell produces Homogenic. I might say, if I had to rank, I might say debut, Homogenic, post in that order. Those would be my three. How about you, Shafi? What do you think? Oh, hey, did you see Vince Clarke just put out a solo album, and it's good. It's really good. It's like ambient stuff. I love Vince Clarke. I think people think of him as the Erasure guy, and he is. He's the Erasure guy, but he's a fantastic, amazing electronic producing genius, and his first solo album is really really good. It just came out this week. So if you didn't know that, check it out. Oh God, are you serious? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's kind of the best part of that movie though, right? I love the scene where he uh oh God, what's the scene? He's walking that guy around the store and he's talking about Blonde on Blonde and Jesus and Mary Chain and Echo and the Bunnymen. He's like, they left off where your precious Echo, where they pick up where your precious Echo left off, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have a couple of people like that for sure. I remember when I used to go to the record store. I was the guy that just I would special order stuff and I'd pick it up and I understood the hell that those record store clerks would go through. So I stayed out of their way. I respected what they did, but yeah, I definitely know plenty of Jack Blacks. And by the way, I think High Fidelity is a shit movie. I think it's stupid, but I think the scenes in the record store are brilliant. I love that scene with the Beta Band too. He's like, "I'm going to sell 3 copies of the Beta Band." That was too funny. All the all the hipsters are swaying to it. By the way, I love the Beta Band. Don't get me wrong, but there's a video, the Beta Band. Nobody would watch it, but I loved the Beta Band. And then I don't know, people didn't appreciate them. They had to wrap up their career. No, Chris, I would never block you. Never block you. I love having differing opinions. Love differing, and I appreciate your differing opinions for sure. Well, tell me what director you think is overrated, because we have to have a give and take here. If you're going to tie me down and have me watch Nolan films and Wes Anderson films, I need to know who your hated ones are. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up? Yevgen? Is that how you say it? Yeah. Is it Yevgen? Yevgen? Where are you at? Hey, you guys aren't telling me where you're at, by the way. I want to know where you guys are at. Chris, I know you're in Iowa. Liz, I know you're in Houston. Um, Dave, where are you at? Daveski, 19. Chaffee, you're in Jersey. Jersey, UK, by the way, not Jersey, United States. Oh, well, he's getting the hell out of here. Hey, Shafi, take care, man. Seriously. Yeah, hang in there. I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through. I really appreciate you, honestly. Hang in there. Yeah, I can't imagine what you're going through. All I can do is offer a little bit of sanctuary with my channel. I hope it cheers you up to some degree. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. What are you talking about? Commander in Chief. I like your I like your photo there. Oh my God. Jesus. Don't get me started on politics. Oh my God. Please. What a fucking mess in America. What 12 inch are you talking about? Oh, you talking about Q Lazaris? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Sorry, Harris. He's just, sometimes people take it to another level and they spam you, and yeah, I gotta keep that where it is. I don't know why it's so important to him. He needs to find something else to do. Gotcha. Oh God, yeah. God, I love Beaumont Hamlet. Texturology, the two versions. Do you have both versions of that? He put out two texturologies simultaneously, and he put out that 12 inch. It's got the HIA mix on it, the Autechre mix. Yeah, yeah. Love me some Beaumont Hamlet. Yeah, it's good, right, Chris? I was really surprised. I mean, it's Vince Clarke. You just assume that he's going to do something that's really dancey, but it's not at all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I was so impressed. I'm like, wow, this is Vince Clarke? Damn. I mean, obviously he's great. You know, he's a master at what he does. I'm just happy that he went that way. Okay, so they did reissue it. Oh, okay. Cool. Nice. If only I knew where my copy of the 12-inch was, Liz. I have no idea. It's buried, which I assume will be the way that I am ultimately buried. I'm going to be in my storage unit, and one of the shelves is going to fall on me, and they're going to find my rotting corpse weeks later, and I'm going to be buried in probably the way I should be buried, appropriately under a mountain of old vinyl. Here he lies with a 12-inch version of Goodbye Horses crammed up his butt crack. We will not miss him. I haven't heard it, Eugene. I gave up on David Holmes a long time ago. He did this film's crap that slashed the seats, and I still think that album is brilliant and the best thing he ever did. And then he spent the rest of his career trying to not do that type of music. I love his early stuff, Johnny Favorite and the Disco Evangelist stuff he did, and the Exploding Plastic Inevitable stuff. That's my favorite David Holmes stuff. This shit he does now, it's okay, but it's soundtrack music. You know, it's cool. I just wish yeah, I wish he'd mix it up a little bit. I just feel like he's kind of been a one note pony for 25 years, really. Just an opinion, but I haven't heard it. Austin. Okay, sweet. Some more Texas. I love Texas. I really do. Texas is such a cool state. There are some crazy people that live in Texas. You just get everything in Texas. Everything. Every personality, food you didn't even know existed. I'll never forget that part of Texas. Like coming from the Northwest, you get options with food, but when you go to Texas, it's like shit that I didn't even know existed. Brands that I didn't know existed. Everything is absolutely bigger in Texas. They they emblazon that on everything you see in Texas, and it's absolutely true. Everything is huge there. And most Texans have already accepted that they're a different country anyway. And they kind of are. Detroit. So are you into all the classic Detroit shit? Do you get into your Derek May and your Carl Craig and your, you know what I'm saying? Detroit techno? You are? Are you into all that stuff? All right, Chris. Come on. Let's take it easy now. Michael Bay? Really? Oh, you're saying overrated. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. I saw underrated there for a minute. Yeah. I saw what I thought you were goading me again. See, I'm so used to you goading me. Oh God, yeah. Of course. I mean, James Cameron did the Terminator. We can never take that away. And I hope they reissue or just issue the director's cut of The Abyss on 4K. When are we getting this? Can we get the full version of The Abyss, please? Why is this so hard? We got to sit through his fucking Avatar movies and we still don't have the uncut version of The Abyss. Come on, what are we doing here? And Michael Bay, yeah, come on. He's awful. Oh, wow. Jesus. Okay. Well, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that. Oh, okay, so like Eugene, Eugene, like that. Thanks for being here, man. Jesus. Yeah. Again, if I got into politics on this channel, oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to compare my experience with being an American to you at all, Eugene. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to pretend to understand what you're going through, but American politics right now, it's just like we're getting ready for our election next year, and you can't ever believe everything you see in the polls, presidential polls I'm talking about, but it's not pretty what we're seeing right now. I think Putin is hoping that Trump wins. I think that's this whole invasion of Ukraine is tied into that at least a little bit. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. Yeah. Which one do you like better? Commander, where are you, by the way? You don't have to give me your street address. I'm just wondering. You can just give me your state if you want. Yeah. Oh, I love the Butthole Surfers, man. Love, and a lot of people don't know that that sample from Orbital's Satan is Butthole Surfers. Like they don't even know that. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I would think that anybody watching my channel knows what I'm talking about. That sample at the start of Satan. That's Butthole Surfers, man. Oh, I've been to mainly Austin, you know. Um, I have an ex-girlfriend who was from Austin. She came here to Portland and we hooked up, and then we talked about moving to Austin, and then it never happened. That's a whole different story. But I went to Austin a number of times to just scope it out and see if I wanted to live there, and I did. And then we ended up going to Dallas, and then we went to San Antonio. I don't even remember why. She knew somebody there, I think, and then her dad lived in Dallas, so we went there to meet him. But I've never been to Houston, and I've already told you that. But yeah, I just did. Oh, and I've been to, I did I go to Lubbock? I think I went to Lubbock. Don't ask me why. I have no clue why I was in Lubbock. I've been to a lot of places, and sometimes I just forget why I was even there. It's probably music related, but I'm trying to think. Did I DJ in Lubbock? Is that possible? Do they even have clubs in Lubbock, Texas? I mean, I guess they do because they have. That's a big college town, right? So I feel like I went to Lubbock. I don't know. I like Texas though, but I think I ultimately felt like, would I want to live in Texas? Um, I feel like Texas is a place you visit, maybe not so much live. I mean, I don't know. I like Texas. Maybe it's changed, but okay, yeah. I'm trying to think of any newer Detroit techno artists. I can't really think of any newer ones. Carl Craig is at the top of my list in terms of electronic music. Yeah, I can't even watch Avatar, Chris. I can't even do it. I tried watching the first one. It's Sigourney Weaver's in it. I love her. Um, James Cameron obviously knows how to be a very good director. He knows. He's just choosing to put out this dreck. Um, I kind of like James Cameron's attitude. He's kind of got that fuck off, fuck you attitude. I kind of appreciate that about him, but um, it would be really cool to see him make a smaller movie with a bigger budget, like make a Terminator, but with a big budget. Make an Abyss with a bigger budget. I think Abyss is a great movie. I really hope the 4K of the director's cut, the uncut one, comes out because that was supposed to come out, wasn't it? I thought that was, I thought that was in the planning stages. It was supposed to be released last year, and then something happened. Who the hell knows? Oh boy. All right. I disagree with you. Respectfully disagree with you on that one, Buckner. Just an opinion. But yeah, I'm gonna move on from that one before I put my foot in my mouth. My fave Beaumont Hannah is Notion. Oh yeah, it is. It's a 4 album set. It really is. Yeah, yeah. He's one of those unsung guys. I think. I mean, we all knew how great he was. Here we are, not talking about New Order at all, by the way. But that's okay. I don't care. We talk about whatever you guys want. Right. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, that's what I love about Skinny Puppy in general. It's like you can think they are one thing, but they're not one thing. They're everything all at once. That's always the best kind of music. Oh, is it in Austin? I mean, you just mean the state, right? Because Austin's like the one. That's the one liberal sanctuary, isn't it? At least that was my experience. Maybe it's changed, but yeah, I mean, that was one thing about Texas that turned me off. It's just I don't know, it went beyond conservative there. It was yeah, it was some other level. Again, like a lot of Texans think they've already succeeded from the Union. They live in this weird fantasy world. Like, we're Texans, man. We're not even Americans. We're Texans. Like, you guys watch Better Call Saul? Do you remember there was that episode where Saul got called to that dude's house and he had his own money printed and he wanted him to be his lawyer so he could secede from the Union and be his own little country like Vatican City or something. That's kind of what Texas was. I mean, I met some people. They were really friendly, man. Like when I went to Texas, I don't know that I've ever met friendlier people, but it was all very surface level. They were friendly, but it was almost like to lull you into some deep sleep so you could believe in what they believed in. Like I remember meeting an older couple from Lubbock, and I was telling them, and I wanted to move to Austin, and they were like, what do you want to go to Austin for? You ought to settle down right here in good old Lubbock, Texas. I'm like, you fucking serious? Um, so yeah, lots of passionate people in Texas. I'll give you that. Yeah, yeah, rack. Yeah, I agree. Have you ever heard the Electroids, which is a Drexia thing? Electroids on Warp, one of the best electro albums ever. Oh, what? Are you serious? Get the fuck out of here. Is it really coming? Because wasn't it supposed to come next year or last year? Am I not remembering that right? I am so stoked for this, Liz. Yeah. And the full version, right? Are they going to do the full version? Because those of you who don't know, the version you saw in theaters had like an hour cut out of it. So, and I saw some dirty work print version of the full version. It was cool, man. I would love to see it in big, glorious, full 4K. Oh, you're talking about Austin, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was my experience. That's why I was gonna go to Austin. It just seemed fun. Seemed like a good place. Oh no shit. Okay, even more reason to go there. Because I'm going to Houston, Liz. You better be ready for it. I'm going, and we are going to do up the town. That's all there is to it. You have no choice in this matter. I'm kidding, but not really. Chris, I know no politics, but try being yeah, Iowa. uh, yeah, Iowa. What more can be said? Iowa. That's all you have to say. Iowa. Yeah, Jesus. I mean, do you know any? You must have at least one friend, right? That's not a total. It's funny. Like I've grown up spoiled in a way. I was born and raised in Portland, Oregon, man. It's always kind of been. I mean, the liberalism we get here now is like it's on another level. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm old school liberal. It's old school now. In the last decade, it's become old school. Um, I think this neoliberalism we have in Portland. I mean, that's just fascism. The neoliberals don't even understand the difference there, but it's fascism. It's a different type of. You have right fascism now, and you have left fascism. It used to always be right. Now you've got both sides engaging in fascist thought. In Portland, unfortunately, there are a lot of people like that. So you were born in Texas? Yeah. Yeah, it really is, right? That's what I've always thought too. I think it's better than any Drexia album, and I love Drexia. I'm not trying to say I anything negative about Drexia because I love Drexia, but Electroids is oh my god, love that album, so good. That's one that needs a reissue. Did they ever reissue that? I imagine that one's way out of print now, right? I would never part with that album. Is that true, Liz Buckner? I mean, it seems like that dude from Better Call Saul. I'm gonna own my own country. Come on down to Lubbock, Texas, y'all. I'll never forget that. Texas, where they call everyone y'all. Whether you're alone or in a pack of 50 people, it's always y'all. Y'all need to come down to Lubbock, Texas. Yeehaw! Remember the Alamo? Goddamn, fucker. There are Democrats here, but outside of Des Moines, it's nothing but deep red. Deep red. Sounds like a sounds like a chewing gum, like a spicy version of Big Red. Deep red. You can't even fucking handle this. Deep red. Yeah, I don't know. Des Moines, the capital, right? Well, yeah, I don't know. Iowa, Jesus, man. I still plan on going there and visiting my roots there. I do have some, I do have a root in Iowa. How old am I? I'm 50. 50 years old. Yes, sirree. Old bastard. Commander in Chief, Chef. I keep wanting to say Chief. It was reissued some years ago after it was going for crazy money. Oh, you're talking about Lex. Sorry, I lose track of what we're talking about. Yeah, yeah, Aliens for sure. True Lies. You know, I loved that movie when it first came out, and then um, I watched it recently, and I don't know, it hasn't aged well for me. I don't know. I'll probably still get the 4K because I love Arnold, but that's a movie that has not aged well for me. Aliens, though, love Aliens. I mean, Bill Paxton. Do you need to say any more? Bill Paxton elevates anything he's in. Bill fucking Paxton. Ah, I love him. I just got the 4K of One False Move too. I think I talked about that at some point, but what a great movie. Hey guys, y'all, if you've never seen One False Move, do it now. Brilliant movie. One of the greatest movies of all time. One False Move. Absolutely brilliant. Einsteins and der Neubauten. Yeah, I love them. Absolutely. I've thought about doing a video on them. I just didn't. Oh, I like your avatar, Andrew. That's a new order thing, right? Oh, I was talking to you this morning, right? You commented on the substance video. Was that you? Right? New Order fan? Yeah, I love Einstein's and the New Button. Yeah, definitely thought about doing a video on them. Okay. Liz says that there are public parks to hike in. Take that for what it's worth, my friend, who asked that question about privately owned land. It is. Yeah, I thought I thought of that too. Liz, what's your favorite Argento movie? Tell me what it is, if you don't mind, please. Um, Dario is one of those guys that I love and hate. I don't love everything he's done. I have movies that I love, and I have movies that I don't love. Um, I will forever respect him for funding the original Dawn of the Dead. I will always love him for that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's absolutely true. I'll never understand like the blind loyalty to sports teams. Like I love football, and people will ask me like, "What's your favorite team?" I'm like, "Really? Do you think these players have any loyalty? They go where the money goes, you know." I do love sports, but I generally like players. I don't like teams. I don't have favorite teams because it's like if there was any loyalty at all, I would have a favorite team, but that's not the reality. So yeah, it's the same, and it's the same with politics. Um, as you get older, you really feel that too. When you're younger, you have such an intense affinity to one side or another side or no sides like me. Um, I don't know. You just have to whittle it down to the bare essentials. Like who's the candidate that's going to support the fact that I want to have a roof over my head? Who's the candidate that's going to support me having a job where I can take care of myself and pay my bills? It's like you have to shave it down to the bare essentials, man. And even that is obviously has people thinking in different commonsensical ways. These people who run for president now, the people that support them, those presidential candidates don't have any interest in the betterment of those people's lives, but they don't care. They still vote for them. It's mind numbing. It's mind numbing. But you're right. It is. Everyone thinks they have the common sense and exactly. What other way is there to be, Liz? I mean, am I wrong? Yeah, if we don't get arrested, we're not doing something right. I hate to admit it, but everything here is for sale. The dreaded gentry. Yeah, it is. And it happened in Texas before it happened here. And it's happened here in the last 10, 15 years here in Portland. And it's I mean, it's it already happened to a certain extent, but it's happened big time now. Yeah. Andrew, I feel like I've seen your name before. Have I seen your name before? Have you subscribed to my channel for a while? I really love New Order. I hesitate to do videos on them because I just feel like it's all been said. I want to talk about stuff where I think I can say something that's not being said. So, but New Order's been so prodded and poked and analyzed and dissected. I just don't feel like I can offer anything of any interest. So, oh, and you're a true Mancunian. Isn't Barney's from Salford, isn't he? Technically, he's a Salford guy. I mean, I might be wrong about that. I don't know. You could tell me. How old are you, Andrew? Do you mind me asking? I mean, shit, you were there. God, you were right there in the thick of it. Happy Mondays and the Stone Roses and New Order and the Smiths. I mean, if you're in that age bracket, you were there. Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. I think I'm caught up with comments here. Yeah. Man, I've been going for almost 2 hours now. Oh, okay. So yeah, you were shit. Yeah, you're a little older than me then. So, you know, in 1990, you were 20. Oh my God. So you're 24 years old. So you were 21. You were 21 in 1987. Am I right about this? 1987. Wait, 21 years old? I don't know. I'm trying to do the math there. 1987. So you were probably dancing your balls off at the Hacienda. Am I right about this? While Voodoo Ray was pumping through the speaker system. New Order's too cynical for me. Maybe a few songs, but I honestly never want to listen to one. I have the Joy Division option. Yeah, I'm the opposite. Yeah. Joy Division's too it's too I don't want to say murky, but it's like it I don't, I'm so I can't think of a better word, but it depresses me. I hear Joy Division. I just want to defenestrate when I hear Joy Division. I like it. I still like Joy Division, but damn, it's too it's not even I'm not when I say dark, it's not lyrically. I can handle darkness, but it's too claustrophobic, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I think New Order. You don't think Joy Division's cynical, really? I guess Joy Division's more of an open nerve. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, Barney is more. He's more cynical for sure. And he definitely doesn't have the lyrical writing chops that Curtis did. I mean, Curtis was more he wore his heart on his sleeve way more than Barney. Barney's definitely guarded, no question about that. Yeah, Andrew, have you seen 24 Hour Party People? And if so, what did you think about it? I love that movie. Um, but I wasn't in Manchester during that time, so maybe you have different thoughts on that. Uh, but as someone who did love that music here in America, I thought it really encapsulated well what that spirit was about. Happy Mondays and Martin Hannett and New Order. Um, yeah, the Sean Ryder stuff, and I love the Happy Mondays. I love them probably more than New Order. And I know they don't have the output that New Order has, but I think Pills and Thrills and Bellyaches is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard. Definitely would be on my top 10 list. I don't know that I'd have a New Order album on my top 10 list. I definitely would have Pills and Thrills on there. Hey Buckner, are you leaving? Thanks for being here, man. Representing from Austin, Texas. Ah, man. Love that. Finny Tribe. Really? What year? When did you see them? Because they had shifts. Like they in the '80s, they were a little more industrial, and then they did that Unexpected Groovy Treat album, and that was way more, way more dance. Well, 101 had the Weather All mixes. Let's see. Yeah, it's Suspiria. Yeah, I'm with you, Liz. We're going to agree on everything. It's just the way it is. It is what it is. I'm glad we found each other. Suspiria. Yeah, I mean, and Phenomena. Yeah, I like Tenebrae a lot too. But Suspiria, I don't know. It's probably everyone's favorite, right? From Dario. But hey, it is what it is. What a great movie. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Well, would you say they're happy? Happy? Really? I don't know. They are now. Barney's lyrics now are fucking awful. That "be a rebel." Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Are you serious? Be a rebel. What the hell would Barney know about that anymore? Give me a break. Be a rebel, please. He's so far removed from that. Uh, but I don't know. I think New Order's early stuff is pretty claustrophobic too. There are moments on Power, Corruption, Lies. I think their sound was just there's more of a sheen to it because it was electronic. But I think tracks like 586, they still managed to have some darkness to it, even though it's a disco song at its heart. Um, but maybe maybe you disagree with me, but I think In Low Life definitely has some darker moments on it. You know, but I hear you. Um, but I differ with you in terms of Joy Division. I love Joy Division. I can't. It's hard for me to go there. It's just really claustrophobic vibes with that. He did, yeah, he did a great job too. And they had people from that scene in the movie. Like Mark E. Smith showed up. I think, and was Vinnie Riley in it? I think Vinnie Riley was in it. I think, and Paul Ryder was in it. He played one of the bouncers. I think there's somebody else that popped up. I don't think any of the New Order guys popped up, but I remember Paul Ryder being in it. Oh, Tony Wilson makes a cameo. He's in it. I thought it was a great movie. In terms of music movies about like musical biographies, I thought 24 Hour Party People is one of the best. Um, Andy Serkis plays Martin Hannett, and he's brilliant. Andy Serkis is a brilliant actor. I don't know if he's underrated or not. Is he? I think he is. Fantastic actor. Oh yeah, that is a good one. Yeah. Do you mean on YouTube, Liz? Because I've made a couple on YouTube, and as always, I haven't done any because I'm a lazy fucking bastard. But you guys know this about me. Um, yeah, like, can you be specific about what kind of playlist you mean? Like, would you like it if I did a playlist pertaining to a video that I do, or just a random playlist? And if you're talking about YouTube, because yeah, I definitely would love to do that. I just don't. I think it was late '80s. What are you talking about? Oh, Finny Tribe. Sorry, I had to scroll up there. Finny Tribe. Got you. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. That's part of the reason why I love it so much. It's the music. It's the music. I just thought of Meat Beat Manifesto song. It's the music. It's the music. Absolutely, it's the music. Yeah. And the dude who plays Bez. Jesus. I mean, you gotta love Bez. You know, it's so funny. I mean, it's interesting how Bez, like, when I think of that time, I think of Bez. You know, he was he personified that movement in a lot of ways. But the guy who plays him in the movie is so funny. Can I interest any of you in the greatest drug experience you've ever had? Just this fucking ding dong. His whole life is just completely centered around drugs. But he's just like this good natured fool. He's the jester, you know. And Sean Ryder insisted that he was there. You just have to love that. Really, that's the only one? Wow. That is a cool song. Not my favorite, but still a good song. I mean, anything from New Order in that time period. Why? I wonder if that's the Arthur Baker connection that you're enjoying, because that sounds more like it's a Funhouse record. It's Arthur Baker. I think Confusion's more Arthur Baker than it is New Order, so I can see why you would love that one. Commander, are you in America or are you in the UK? Where are you? You won't tell me where you are. What's going on here? Tell me where you are, Commander in Chef. I want to know. YouTube, yeah. Okay. I will. I promise I will. I have done a few. Have you seen those? Um, did I do it? I think I did a KLF one and I did a Meat Beat one and I did, oh my God. Oh, I think I did a Black Dog one. I have done a few, but you're not the only one that's asked me for that. I've just been lazy. I haven't done it. But I will. In fact, what do you want, Liz? Anything you want, girl. I will give you whatever you want because that's what I think of you. You tell me what you want, Liz, and I will make it happen. Seriously. Be as specific as you want. I will do it. Sean Harris played Ian Curtis. He went on to have a pretty good career, including a really good villain in Mission Impossible. Okay. Oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. I saw him. God damn. I saw him in a movie and I instantly went there. Um, I was like, that's the dude that played Ian Curtis. I was happy. I was really happy with that portrayal too, because I think people they think of Ian Curtis in this really precious air, like he was studious and sitting around and you know, almost like this godly figure, but he wasn't. He went up to Tony Curtis and called him a cunt the night he met him. That was he. I think Curtis was just having fun like everybody else. I don't think anyone knew what he was going through personally. I think when he was with his friends, he was having a laugh just like all the rest of them were. So I was really happy to see that the way that they portrayed him. Yeah, Andrew, are you in the UK or are you here, by the way? Oh, I'm sorry, I meant now. I assume you're in the UK now, right? You're not in America talking to me. You're back home. Um, yeah, Crystal. I'm trying to think. I mean, it's my favorite song on that album. I do like that song. You're right, but compared to Regret, it's just a personal preference. But I don't think I wouldn't say it's great. It's just my opinion. Regret is so good. Oh my god, yeah. You also you're I have to yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Um, you're talking about too much blood. Too much blood. That's all right. Too much love. Too much love. Blood. Those things have everything to do with each other. So you might be right about the connection with New Order. I'm in Europe. Okay. Thanks for that. I'd love to know where you guys are. Sean Harris and Prometheus. Is he really? I haven't seen that. You know what, guys? I can't stand. I don't want to dedicate my life to watching rehashes and remakes. And I know Prometheus isn't technically a remake, but just leave Alien alone. Why can't we just leave it alone? Come up with a new idea, for God's sakes. Yeah, the Too Much Blood remixes are killer. And listen, I love the Rolling Stones. I'm not embarrassed to say this. I'm not a snob. Now, I don't love Rolling Stones now. I don't think they've done anything interesting for well over 40 years. But Too Much Blood came out in the early mid 80s, right? Um, yeah, I love the Rolling Stones. Come on. Everything they did in this, I love, you know, I even love the disco album. I Miss You. Come on. It's a great song. You want to be a snob about that, go ahead. But no, I love the Rolling Stones. Okay. I assumed you were, but let's see. Let's see. How about your favorite track? As much as little. No, I don't use Spotify. I don't. No. Um, I just feel like I only have time for certain stuff, and with I don't have time for Apple Music and my own records. I probably should get into Spotify, but no, I don't. I guess it's better for playlisting, right? I'm surprised that Apple Music hasn't done something that's a little more user friendly in terms of playlisting, but I'll definitely do my favorite. Oh my God, my favorite tracks. Wow. Okay. See, my brain's already working on this one. Because when I do my favorite tracks, it turns into like this sprawling 8 hour mix, and no one's going to sit there and sit through that. So, can I whittle it down like 10 songs? What's the max? What's the max songs I can have? I need to know these things. It's important. You understand this, Liz, right? Okay, well, there you go. So yeah, see, I knew when you said Confusion was your favorite. I knew because yeah, Confusion is not really a New Order track. That's an Arthur Baker song. That's a Funhouse track. The hand claps and yeah, man. I keep looking at your avatar. That's hilarious. I mean, that's the way we should be looking at that man. We need to look at him as a clown, which even then is a compliment. Oh, there I am getting political. Do you think we'll ever? Oh, it looks like he hit enter before he should have. Really? Okay. You asked for it, Liz. It'll probably be longer than 8 hours. God damn, I'm just thinking of all the. Yeah, and I want one from you too. Sure. Thanks for coming by the way, Liz. You probably have all kinds of other shit you could be doing. As all of you do. Thank you for all of you. We've been doing this for over 2 hours now, so um, maybe I should wrap it up. What do you think? What do you guys think? Are we done? All right. Looks like people are. I think Andrew Smith might be. He posted this. I'm assuming he hit enter sooner than he would have liked. Come on, Andrew. What you got? You got something else? Otherwise, I think we've petered out. 2 hours seems to be the limit. Right, here we go. Slow cooking. All right. So, are you a chef then? Is this like you're mentioning chili now? Commander in Chef is cooking chili, which means he's going to have some serious farting going on any minute now. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and you said Saturday too. I did think about you when it came to that. So, and Saturday just seems to be a good time. I know that at this time I'm going to get more Europeans, I think, because it's like, well, it's 10:30 for you guys now, or 9:30, 10:30. But I think I'll try to do like around this time when I want to do podcast, when I want to have a live stream for the Europeans, and then I'll probably get more Americans if I do a live stream, like 4, 5, 6-ish our time. I just like cooking. Whatever, dude. You just love farting. That's what you love to do. What do you think of the movie? Oh yeah, we were just talking about that, Scott. We love it. I love it. I was asking Andrew about that. This guy who I just skipped. Whoops. Do you think we've heard the last of new material from? Yeah, probably right. Scott Solomon, though. Andrew's he lives right outside of Manchester, and he was there during the heyday. He went to the Hacienda. He was like 21 years old in 1987, so he was there. He was balls deep in brilliance. So Andrew Smith, that's the dude you want to talk to right there. And he said he enjoyed 24-Hour Party People. So I think it's a brilliant movie. Really funny. So there you go. Yeah. What do you want to? God, I love. Is it Love Tempo? I almost said Tempo, but Love Tempo. What a great song. That was. Yeah, man. That's some early house, UK house funk going on there, man. Love that. Yeah, no shit. I'll finish that as soon as I finish my comedy list that I started 18 fucking months ago. I mean, why would I stop? I wrote the first 75. I put all that work into it, and then I got to 25, and I'm like, I'm done. I dropped the mic. Liz, were you around when I was talking about that? I'm writing my 100 favorite comedies, and I've done the first 75, but I have yet to do the top 25. And so it's been sitting in my website drafts, which is WordPress, by the way. It's been sitting there for 18 months. I have yet to finish. What it's going to take, I have no idea. Love Tempo is the biggest tune. Yeah. And I think it was the remix too, right? There was like an original version and then the remix. Um, you know what? Let me look this up. I'll probably lose connection with you guys again. If I lose connection, by the way, guys, I'm going to call it. We've been going for over 2 hours here. Although I am enjoying this, though. I won't lie. Liz, maybe that's what I needed. I have next week off too, and I'm not going anywhere. So I have zero excuses here. Oh yeah, let's see. This is not happening. Let me get out of here. I have a feeling I'm going to freeze up at any moment. My computer's unhappy right now. Very unhappy. Seriously, Liz, that maybe this is what I need. I need a kick in the ass from you, which sounds like a blast, honestly. Thanks. It was a lot of fun. Most of my mates aren't as deep into music, so this is almost it. Yeah, hey, Buckner, thanks, dude. Keep it real in Austin, Texas. Texans. Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Love Tempo. Just one of the best bass lines, too. I love that bass line. When that bass line kicks in, oh, I love it. Maybe I'll just sit here and cough for the next 5 minutes because I know you guys are looking for that. Oh, nice. Jesus Christ. Oof. 1980. Okay. What's the age? I forget in Europe, like to drink. Is it 18? Because here it's 21. I love that about the United States. You can vote at 18, but you can't drink until you're 21. Okay. And the fact that weed is still illegal in some states. It's not illegal here in the state of Washington, which is enough said. Oh, okay. Scott, do you subscribe to me? I don't recognize your name, but thanks for popping by, and I hope you stick around. Um, yep, you're 18, right? Yeah, yeah. Here it's 21. Doesn't that seem asinine, like beyond all belief? You can go vote for Donald Trump at 18, but then you can't drink a Budweiser until you're 21. What's more stupid? See, there I go again. Oh God. See, my brain is like, yeah. I'm thinking of all the stupid political things I could say. I know that turns people off. I don't blame people for being turned. This is supposed to be a music channel. In fact, those of you who subscribe to my channel, full disclosure, um, earlier this year I went back and edited out a bunch of my rants from my early videos because I just feel like it's clickbait, like people are looking for a Wolfgang Press video, and then the first half an hour is me foaming at the mouth about politics. I just felt like that was a dick move. Um, I don't know. I just feel like if I'm going to talk about politics, I should put that in the title and then talk about it because I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm cornering people. You know what I mean? I can see people being like, I came here for Wolfgang Press. This guy's foaming at the fucking mouth about politics right now. I don't care. And I wouldn't blame them for thinking that. So anyway, I ended up taking out a bunch of stuff because I don't know. That's why I don't rant as much anymore. I know some people love that, but I don't know. I don't think it's fair. I don't want to be the clickbait bastard. um yeah, a couple of people have asked me that. I mean, I don't know. It's yeah, I guess. I kind of feel like this is my uh, I feel like this is my podcast in a way, just doing YouTube. But yeah, I think about it. Yeah. Um, you mean about music or just in general? Because yeah, sometimes in fact, I think on YouTube, let me look. YouTube gives you like they have a podcast option now. Like you can do some kind of version of a podcast on YouTube. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I'm sorry, you're probably way ahead of me on this, but um, yeah, I've definitely thought about it. But yeah, I think this. Sometimes I just think this is my podcast in a lot of ways. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think about it. What do you think? Podcast or YouTube? For me, it would have to be one or the other. I just don't have time or the energy, I think. I mean, if I could make a living doing this, I would for sure. But yeah, I don't know that that's in the cards for me. Um, God, that'd be cool though. I would love to make a living at just ranting and talking about music and movies. God, that'd be so cool. I would love that. Oh, Thomas Lear. I don't know that I know enough about him. I mean, yeah, I mean, I like his influence and the things that he was influenced by. And I just by proxy, I love Scottish musicians. I mean, I don't know, some of my favorite bands of all time are all Scottish. It all kind of goes together. Something's going on in Scotland for sure. Um, but yeah, I like ACT. I don't know that I've heard a lot. I should hear more before I comment any further on that. But from what I've heard of ACT, I love it. How about you, Andrew? What do you think? Obviously, you must be a fan, but what I've heard from ACT, I love. Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. I just don't really. For me, I just kind of when I do these chats or whatever, it turns people off. Like music it's a sanctuary. Like we can kind of escape from that, and I rethought it. Like because in a lot of ways this is therapeutic for me to do this. I don't talk a lot in my real life apart from YouTube, so I saw this as kind of a ventilation shaft for me to get things out. And so things piss me off politically, like anybody. But yeah, I'm glad you said that, Commander in Chief, because yeah, there's a place for it. I don't want to, again, I don't want to be like, here's my Knights of Red video, but first you have to sit through 30 minutes of me ranting about politics. It's just, I don't know, it's not right. And I rethought it and I removed it. So sorry about that. While I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to be shocked, um, I do get I do get your point, and I apologize. It's just I wouldn't mind ranting, but I feel like it's it just by proxy and by nature, people aren't going to want to hear what I have to say about a lot of music if I have a political voice. You know what I mean? I don't think it should necessarily matter, but politics are so divisive nowadays. Like everything is so, I almost said bipolar. It is, but everything is just so this side and that side. I think it's ludicrous, and I wish we could kind of get back to the middle ground on a lot of stuff. But anyway, I hear what you're saying, and I try to not do that anymore. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, absolutely, yes. So you're a fan. I wish I knew more about it, but I know what you're talking about. Um, yeah, no, I hear you. You're right. You're right to say that. It's like I hate clickbait. Be clear about what you're going to talk about, and then talk about that. So if I do talk about politics, I'll just do that. It'll be a standalone video. You know, because people looking for an erasure video or something, they don't want to hear somebody being like Donald Trump, Joe Biden, whatever. They don't want to hear that. Yeah. Well, see, this is the conundrum I have, Liz. Like, some people love it, some people don't love it. So, I would never edit myself. I'm never going to take something out if I feel like it's offending somebody. You know what I mean? I got to a point where I felt like it was clickbait, and that's what inspired my move. I still have the original videos. I mean, they're still in my archives. But I thought also that it's already been out there. Most of the stuff was well over 2 years old anyway, and no one was watching it. So um, I don't believe in censoring myself, but I definitely don't want to be clickbaity. You know what I mean? If I do political rants, I will. I just will. It'll be a standalone video. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to come off like I'm going to censor myself, because I think that's bullshit. But I started thinking like, yeah, if someone's going to look for skinny puppy videos and it's me ranting about something unrelated, I do think it's a little clickbaity. That's just my opinion. I appreciate you like my rants. I like ranting for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even so much concerned about that. To me, it's like, well, you get what you get. This is my channel, and if it gets lost in translation, whatever. I don't even care about that. Don't even care. Biases, don't care about that either. It makes zero difference to me. If someone wants to subscribe or watch, they can. If they don't have to. It was just a personal choice. I just thought, if it's in the title, I need to keep it to that. Honestly, I think it's good that things get lost in translation. It might make you think a little bit. Not you, but when I say you, I mean everyone. You know what I mean? Because it might cause someone to go research something that they otherwise didn't understand or were even thinking about. So I think that's good. Big country. Um, Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. Um, Seriously, I really appreciate that. I fumble at what to say to things like this. I don't take compliments well. I'm an awkward, goofy bastard when it comes to compliments. So, um, thank you. Seriously, Liz. Um, yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I'm shocked that anybody watches my channel. I mean it. Like it's still amazing to me that people, like, I was able to get over 1,000 subscribers. It's like, really? I can't believe this. So thanks, Liz. Honestly, I appreciate it. I'm sorry for my awkwardness. I don't know how to take compliments. I'm a bonehead. What can I say? Yes, I'm a writer too, and yes, yeah. Ooh, Frankie, another connection to that whole Zoo Records label, Pink Industry, KLF, Echo and the Bunnymen, Big in Japan. Another connection. I haven't heard that. I have to be honest. I've heard plenty of Hoodlum Priest, but I have not heard that album. I do like God, Hoodlum Priest. You're bringing out some classics, dude. I did. That's what I did do. I was like, you see, now you're making me regret my decision. I'm kidding. You didn't. No, you didn't do that. But I know this is what I toiled with. I was like, well, I tell them that the rant stops at 16 minutes or whatever. So that's probably good enough, right? Yeah, I know. I thought about that. I know. I still have the originals. Maybe I'll put them back. Uh, yeah. Now you're just making me want to do a rant video. I've never really just posted a rant video. You should, oh, the best part, Liz, when I do those rant videos, you should see all the dislikes I get. In fact, I was thinking about making that the thumbnail picture, like all the dislikes I get, all the thumbs down, because I think that shit's funny. Every video I post where I rant, it's like I get the most thumbs down. It's hilarious. Uh, I don't know. So yeah, you're right. You're right. If they can't read, right, that's their problem. All right, Liz, you're making me okay. Maybe more rants are coming. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm well, I'm elementary school right now. Um, Basically 6 to 10 year olds, 6 to 11 year olds. That's where I'm at. I've done a little teaching at the college level, but I'm English. I'm an English guy. Literature. I'm a writer. I'm good at I'm good at culling creativity out of people. I'm pretty good at math too. I like that math can be finite. I like that part about it. What level of math do you teach? I'd be interested in knowing that. Because music is math. I mean, a lot of times when I'm listening to music, I'm doing math in my head. I'm sure you'd have to agree with that, right? Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I understand what you're saying, and I kind of welcome misunderstandings, but I hear what you're saying. I don't really care so much about that. I want to be misunderstood. Maybe that's a weird. I don't know. Maybe that's a weird thing to think. I don't know, but I think misunderstanding's good. That's why I don't really concern myself too much with it. Yeah, I think if something's misunderstood or misconstrued, it's gonna maybe inspire someone to go and get more clarification on it. I mean, I think even if they don't agree with you, their brain has found a new neural pathway that's going down a certain avenue, and that's good. So again, I don't want to be liked by everyone. I don't give a shit about that. I think if when someone's got a million subscribers on YouTube, I think something's wrong. When you're trying to appeal to everybody, I just think that's not the way I want to go. That's just a personal choice. I want people to dislike me. Like I think it's funny that these people I blocked are trying to work their way back in. I think that kind of shit's funny. It's I've struck a chord. Even if it's a negative one, it's struck a chord, and I think that's good. Oh yeah. Well, K Rock was one of the places to go, right? In terms of radio. I've had friends that are from LA, and they rave about K Rock. It's just the greatest thing that ever happened to them. And yeah, I mean, back in the '80s, you pretty much heard Depeche Mode and New Order on the regular, right? It's just New Order was like a top 40 band down there. Mm-hmm. And you know, he doesn't rant anymore because he's so old. But Noam Chomsky, man, he's still around. The dude's almost 100 years old, but he's still got his wits about him. I mean, nobody breaks shit down like Noam Chomsky. I still watch this guy. Politically, he's just he's the most brilliant mind that I've ever known. I mean, he is able to break down with absolute precision and accuracy and no biases whatsoever and no emotion whatsoever exactly what is happening in this world. He has no time for human emotion. He takes a situation, he understands it thoroughly, and he delivers the facts. How often do you see that? Never. I would highly recommend anyone check out Noam Chomsky if you haven't done that. And if you know who he is, keep checking him out because he's not going to be with us for much longer, but he still has his mind. And good Lord. Yeah. Love Noam Chomsky. You got that right. Yes. Yes. I know. I know. I apologize, man. It's, this is why I like doing the live streams because people are here, you know. When I'm confined to a room and I'm just ranting and foaming at the mouth into the camera, I mean, I'm going to sound like a total asshole. And I know that's the risk, but hey, that's the risk you take watching my videos. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. When I started learning music when I was a kid, it was math, tempo and rhythm, and it is what it is. So I learned it in a lot of ways. I feel like just from the periphery, I learned a lot about math from being classically trained in music. I was trained to play piano and and saxophone of all things. So yeah, that was like an introduction to math. I remember when I started learning maths proper when I was in elementary school and middle school. I was harking back to those methods I had learned when I had started learning music. So yeah, I love those connections. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah. I have no idea how people took the DHS one. That was me just being a complete dork, which doesn't come hard for me, as you know. Um, but Meat Beat, goddamn. I mean, Meat Beat, and I think of Meat Beat and DHS as one in a lot of ways, and you know why, Liz. But Liz, what's your favorite Meat Beat album, by the way? Mine is Subliminal Sandwich, and I apologize if you mentioned that. I don't remember you mentioning that. Maybe you did. No, did you? What's your favorite Meat Beat album? Subliminal Sandwich is mine. I love it, but thank you. Um, and guess what? When I did that DHS video, I got a copyright. I didn't get a strike, but I got a copyright thing. It was like, well, we can't advertise this video because you've used so much music with this one. I didn't care. I still posted it, but that's what happens when you post music. You have to use these like predetermined canned songs that YouTube gives you access to if you want to use music. And it's just Muzak. It's like elevator music. It's just boring. No, what's that? Oh, you're talking to Scott Solomon. Sorry. Scott Solomon, did you attend Inland Invasion? Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, and I like disagreeing. Like you don't like New Order. I do. That's cool. I like that shit. This is something I really enjoy about. This is going to sound like a really broad, stupid statement, but this is what I like about Europeans. Europeans. I don't know. It's just easier to have debates with Europeans. In America, everyone's so tense and defensive. And if you have something that differs from their opinion, they get deeply offended by it. I don't feel that with Europeans. Europeans are like, yeah, your opinion's shit, and here's why I think that. And then you back up your opinion. They're like, oh yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know. That's been I saw that a lot with Discogs too, because Discogs is bigger in Europe than it is here in the United States. I can tell you that with 100% certainty. And I would get into these debates with Europeans, and they'd be like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Your opinion's shit, and here's why." And I'd be like, "Well, fuck you. Your opinion's shit, and here's why." And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, okay." It's like, you can have that kind of discourse, and no one gets offended by it. Here in America, it's tough to have that. It's hard. It's harder, I think. All right, hey Andrew, thanks, man. Take care. I deeply appreciate you being here. Thanks, man. Hope to see you next time. Oops. As far as yeah. Do you get that with your Instagram? Because you don't you why don't you do YouTube again? You just don't want to talk? Is that I mean, you don't want to do videos, right? You're visual only. Because yeah, what you do on Instagram is way better than what I could ever do on Instagram. Like it's one of those things where I look at your channel, I'm like, well, I don't know. What am I gonna do? Like you crush it. I could never touch what you do. You've got like a level of artistry that I don't have for sure. Hmm. Oh, wow. So you saw the 101 show. I have mixed feelings about that documentary. It's I wish they had spent more time with the band, you know what I mean? They spent too much time showing that little ragtag team of dickheads that were following them around. I just didn't care about them. I understood what Pennebaker was doing, but I wanted to see more footage of Martin Gore and Dave Gahan and Alan Wilder just hanging out and talking, and that was the interesting stuff for me. The people that were following them, it was like boring. Oh, really? So that was so you did some meat beat stuff. By the way, is Helter Skelter Radio Babylon the greatest 12-inch that's ever existed? Yes, that's what I thought. It just is. Radio Babylon. Helter Skelter. Come on, please. I mean, when I hear people that they say they love electronic music and they've never heard those songs, I'm like, what? Come on. What the hell's going on here? What kind of world do we live in? Oh, yeah. Okay. Recoil. I love Recoil. I mean, I think, shit. Alan Wilder's done much more interesting work than Depeche Mode's done since Violator, I think. I mean, I think Wilder knew that. Wilder's like, I'm going to go do my own thing, man. I got plenty of my own shit to say. I will. I will. I haven't done a lot of videos at all, Eugene. I haven't had the time to do it, honestly. This next week, I'm going to pump out some videos for sure. Um, but yeah, I will. I will. It just might be 5 years. So yeah, be patient. Um, yeah, 99%. Love that album. Now, do you have the 12-inch of Now, Liz? The US promo with the remixes. How those remixes were never released commercially, I have no idea. I don't know how that happened. But the remixes of Now, holy Jesus Christ. Love that shit. Right, yeah. MBM was on Nothing. Good for Trent Reznor for giving them a bigger stage. Yeah. Yeah. When I saw Meat Beat for the first time, the opening act was MC 900 Foot Jesus. That's another video I want to do because Mark Griffin, who's from Texas, by the way, Liz, you probably know this. Um, I got to know him a little bit, Mark Griffin, and he's a super nice guy. And he disappeared. He did his third album, One Step Ahead of the Spider, which is brilliant. by the way. One of the most underrated albums I've ever heard in my life. And then he disappeared. He did 3 incredible albums and then disappeared off the face of the earth. The last I heard, he was managing a Borders bookstore in Texas somewhere, in Dallas. And I think he did some shows a few years ago. I wrote a piece on him at Discogs, and I think that garnered a little bit more interest for him. People started learning about him a little more. He did some live shows in Texas, and then that was 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know what happened to the guy. He's gone again. He didn't seem to have much interest in recording any more music. But anyway, MC 900 Foot Jesus opened for Meat Beat. Imagine that. And it was killer. This was 99%. So he had just put out that first album. Hell with the Lid Off was the name of that album. God, what a good album. Yeah. Boy, damn. How do you pick a favorite MBM song? I mean, Radio Babylon would be mine, but Helter Skelter's way up there. Did you hear the re-version he did in 1997? Jack remixed Helter Skelter in 1997. It is killer. Every bit as good as the original. And Psych Out. I love that there's so many versions of Psych Out too. Version 1, version 2, the album version, which sounds like Genocide, which was an earlier song on Armed Audio Warfare. Jack he was crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Yeah, I know. Yep. And I've talked about this. Like, Depeche Mode's just in money mode right now. They pump out a shitty album every 4 or 5 years, and then they go on tour, and they do a greatest hits legacy show, and then they fuck off for 5 years, and then they do that again. It's all right. Depeche Mode, they changed the whole landscape. I will forever deeply respect them. They will always be one of my favorite bands. It just is what it is. But it's disappointing to see them just fart out these bad albums on cue. It's just depressing. Oh, dude, I lived there. Yes. In high school, in the late 80s, well, throughout the 80s, even when I was a kid, yes, I lived at Tower. I went there once a week, every Friday night. Every Friday night. Before I had my driver's license, I'd get on the bus and take the bus to Tower Records. Then when I was 16, I got my driver's license and drove there every Friday night. It was just part of my routine. I did that every Friday for years. Tower Records, yeah. Where I got all kinds of imports, and they had everything. Magazines, videos, imports, domestics, anything you wanted. Tower Records. That's where most of my 80s stuff is from. All that Meat Beat shit and Skinny Puppy and all that. I got it from Tower, all of it. Oh, yeah, Consolidated. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And when I saw it was the Satyricon show, Consolidated opened up for him. And then, Jack produced Consolidated too. He did Friendly Fascism. Was that the name? That was the name of the album, right? Friendly Fascism. The dude, Adam Sherbarn, right? The singer, the rapper, he lives here in town. I've seen him a few times. We've talked. He's a pretty intense guy. He's a nice guy. He's just very intense. I saw him. My niece was at a basketball tournament. This was years ago, like 15, 20 years ago. I was at my niece's basketball tournament, and I'm standing there. I'm watching the game, and I kind of, I look over, and Adam Sherborne's standing there. It's like, is that Adam Sherborne from Consolidated? So the game ended, and we're walking out, and I just happened to, I bumped into him. And I couldn't help myself. I'm like, hey, you're Adam Sherborne, right? And he looked, I'll never forget, he looks at me, he goes, who wants to know? And I was like, sorry, man, I'm just a fan of Consolidated. I'm not looking for anything. I just wanted to say I'm a fan. I've been to your shows. And then he lightened up. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. You just never know, man. I've had some weird experiences. And I empathize with his plight. I've had my own weird experiences. So anyway, yeah, I had a moment with him. Who wants to know? Super intense guy. But we got over that and we talked about Consolidated for a few minutes. Their shows were so fun. They'd pass the mic around and everyone would get a chance to talk. And yeah, that was cool. Oh, No kidding. Okay. Yo, pistol, activate the bass one final time. Make a beat for society in decline. All right. You guys didn't ask for that. Sorry. Liz, I should have known you'd have that. You've got everything. Liz, how many records do you have? I'll bet Liz has more records than I do. You should see this girl's collection. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, I wonder what happened. Oh yeah, DeSalle. Yeah. Yeah. They did Al Jurgensen. Remember? They did a cover of Isolation, Joy Division, and Al Jorgensen was part of this. Yeah, Griffin's in Dallas. He's a Texas guy. He's a Texan, and I'm pretty sure he's in Dallas as of several years ago. Maybe that changed, but he's originally from Texas, and as far as I know, he's still there. Um, if you've never heard One Step Ahead of the Spider, check that out. It's such a good album. It's so underrated, man. Oh yeah, the Yeasty Girls. You suck. Suck it hard. Go down, baby. You suck. Spread your tongue around. This is a song. I'm not making this up. Yeah. Yeah, it was from Friendly Fascism, right? And what's the other one? Is it This Is Fascism? No, they couldn't have had two. Let me look. They couldn't have had two albums with fascism in the title, could they? Maybe they did. Consolidated. Consolidated. Let's see. Yeah. Yo, pistol, activate the bass one final time. Make a beat for society in decline. Let's see. Friendly Fascism. Yeah. Play more music. That's what You Suck was on, right? Let me look at this. Yes. Play more music. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I saw them. I saw them every time. I think every time I saw them, they were playing with Meat Beat. Yeah. Yeah. You Suck was on the album though. It was on Play More Music. And I think You Suck, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. Crack House. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, I know what you're talking about. God, Consolidated. Holy shit. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. We've talked about this a little bit, but yeah, I'm a little shy too. I know it's hard to believe, but it's one thing to talk into a camera, but when you're staring at someone right across from you, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm shy. I guess I'm a little more reserved, but that's why I like doing the live stream. This is, I don't know, maybe there's no difference in how I am with my usual videos, but I feel like I'm a little more reined in when I'm here with you guys because, you guys keep me honest. You guys humble me, and I need that. We all do. Let's see. Pistol was the ghostwriter. You should try it, Liz. You should try it. Maybe, it's more therapeutic than you might think. I know you're shy, but if it's just you and a camera, think of it that way. Don't think about people watching it. You know what I mean? Just like it's you and the camera. It's intimate time with you and the camera. Maybe you could do it. You've got a lot of cool shit. You definitely have plenty of cool opinions. And you've got great taste in music and movies. Pistol was the ghostwriter for. Really? I was going to ask you who, but you wrote ghostwriter. So I'm assuming you're not going to share that. Shit. Well, no, that's where I'm at now. I think I'm closer to 12, you know. So it sounds like you've been around close to how long I've been around, good 50 years at this point. Yeah, it's like it was just different, in the 90s. If you were a DJ, you got boxes of records shipped to you for free. It's a hard thing to try to explain to people. It's like, I got these for free. Like, I think a lot of people think that you spent money on all this stuff, and I have spent a lot of money on records, but a lot of shit I just got for free. I was lucky. I was really lucky to be a DJ in the right time. You think? I don't know. See, I need your confidence, Liz. You're shy. I think you have a lot more confidence than me. That's where I struggle. Like this YouTube thing, I wanted to do it for a couple of years, and I just didn't. I don't think I had the confidence to do it. And honestly, I still don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll let you in on something personal about me. I have zero confidence in my abilities. So to have you guys come here and do all this and be involved and watch what I do is like really humbling for me. Yep. Oh shit. We've been doing this for almost 3 hours. Holy crap. I gotta go. A couple more minutes. Is that okay? Uh, oh, you like Razormaid? Really? Ugh. Man, you remember like those were the most coveted things in the DJ world. You remember this? I'm sure you do. People looked for that stuff. They loved that stuff. I had an encounter with Joseph Watt. He's such a prick. He just had this attitude like you could only play his mixes in certain scenarios, and he didn't want you reselling it. You know, um, years ago, I tried to sell some Razormaid stuff on eBay, and they got taken down because he personally asked for them to be taken down. It's like, really, dude? You stole these songs. These are all unauthorized bootleg remixes, and now you're going to go out of your way to fucking ban my ability to sell them. And he didn't want to hear it. I reached out to him personally. He was like, whatever, you can't sell these. No. I'm like, whatever. Your remixes suck anyway, dude. It's just my opinion. I've never liked Razormaid. They're edits, right? They're not really remixes. They're just edits. He takes one beat and just rehashes it over and over. Edits. Yeah, right. It's true. Yeah, man. So you're in Europe. You got all the European promos. That was tough for me to get. I would have to write letters to the record labels, like extensively so, and multiple times. Like in the early '90s, I wrote a letter, multiple. What was it? Two or three letters to Warp. I was like absolutely determined to get on their mailing list. I finally got on there. But being an American, it was tough. In the UK, it wouldn't be so tough, but maybe it would be. I don't know. But I was finally able to get in there. Yeah, when I say promos, I mean here in America. I didn't get a lot. I didn't get a ton of promo stuff from Europe. Oh, I was just listening to Omega Amigo. I was just ripping that this week. Omega Amigo. Yes. Yeah, I know. We finally found something. Yeah. Yeah, boy, people love the Razor Mates. I was happy to get rid of it because I definitely got those through, you know, the record pools I was in. I was happy to sell that shit, and it always sold for good money. You could always find a buyer for that stuff. I was happy to offload that stuff. I still have some left too, but I offloaded most of it. I don't know. You probably can't sell that shit on Discogs. They've probably got that in their, you know, unable to sell categories. All right, man, I gotta go. I've been here for almost 3 hours. I don't know how long you guys have been here, but I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Commander and Chef, thank you. I don't remember ever seeing your name, so thank you for coming by, man. I appreciate your time. Scott, thanks. Liz, you know I love you. Thank you so much for being here. You definitely make me feel much more confident about what I'm doing. Seriously, guys, go check out Liz's Instagram. It's awesome. And she's awesome. So you should just support her. Just do it. Trust me on this one. Love you. And Pertwist, thank you very much. I will see you next time. More of these to come. I will love to do these as often as humanly possible. And I do have next week off, so I'm gonna have more time to do this shit. So I hope you guys can stop by. And thanks as always. Goodbye.